Hey, 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 welcome back. Welcome to the Scorpio channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. Know that energy is fluid. Roles can be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel and all my channels, I like to dive deep within the reading. So we do look at everything, but we take more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play it as karmic themes to help you understand why everything's playing out the way that it is. All right, now, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you have to be open to getting a shadow reading. You have to like the video, subscribe to the channel, write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video is always on the first card that I pull out. It's the underlining energy that tells us why everyone's doing what they're doing. Very important when we're dealing with people that wear masks, create facades, are manipulative. We want to know why they do what they do. We want to know why we have a connection to a person that triggers us, and what is the whole spiritual significance and what we can do to shape shift the energy, because there's many different realities that play out at one time. So as you can see, I look at a lot more than just what your person's going to do and what they did do, because a lot of times we don't understand why they do what they do, right? All right, so let's pull and see what the underlining energy is. I just want to also pull from my other deck to see what the energy is. See what the underlining energy is. Let's see. The underlining energy is, it's knowledge, it's wisdom, and that's like a wisdom. It's a claircognizance. It's like you don't know how you know, you just know. It's usually any soul relationship, you know whether a person is about you, they don't care about you, you know whether they're mad, you know when their energy is near you, you know when that is not. It doesn't logically make sense. It's because there's a spiritual connection. However, if the person is having a lot of resistance and they're showing you like a lot of sabotaging behaviors, obviously they're a karmic connection, like that's a past life karmic connection. There's lessons that haven't been learned in this past life, and then they're coming in with all that same energy. So there is very strong emotional connection, but their actions are not going to be in alignment with that feeling. So we look to that, because that's going to should determine actually how much you give this person. So we're going to look and see what the other energy is, and it's merciless forgiveness. So we know again that you're in separation from somebody that, again, there is a strong spiritual connection, but it's like, I feel like this person wants forgiveness and they know that they don't deserve forgiveness. I also believe that if you're connected to someone that is like someone that is a soulmate, twin flame, someone that is supposed to be in your life, and it's because you just can't get rid of them, like meaning no matter what, you try and date other people, you try and do everything to forget this person, but you just can't. And there's that knowing, well, there's a spiritual lesson that needs to be learned. And the hardest spiritual lesson is forgiveness, which this is your person that has this, a lot of times you need to learn that lesson. That's why you're getting a person like that. Now, understand, merciless forgiveness doesn't mean you just let the person come back into your life and say, oh, okay, everything's fine. No, what it means is that you haven't learned the lesson of forgiveness. And that's possibly where you are an all or nothing type person, that you're like, I want to have this person in my life, but they do too many things. So even that there's a spiritual connection, it doesn't matter, because they're just fucked up, everything that they do, and they trigger me, and I don't like who I turn into. So I don't know how to have them in my life, but I want them in my life. So there is a little bit of this energy. And so Spirit says, I purposely do that to you, because again, most spiritual situations is not a yes or no. You have to find your balance in the situation. So that's the underlining energy. So we might not see this person really doing anything, because they may know that, you don't want to really forgive them. Maybe they feel like they're not deserving of being forgiven, or that this person's going to come towards you asking for forgiveness, and there's a part of you that's like, I'd really rather not deal with them at this point. like where you're adamant of that, where spirit says, yeah, but now you're going to cut your nose off to spite your face. Because when it's this type of connection, you have 1,000 different emotions at one time. You can't listen to your emotions. And the triggers are going to make you want to listen to the emotion that you have. So there you have to transcend that. And we know that because forgiveness. All right. So let's see again what it was like to deal with this person. Not that is really important, but we do want to know. That's actually 2 decks. What the hell is going on here? I had 2 decks mixed together. I don't know how or why. It's again, but we're going to use both of them anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I just would like them to not be all mixed in like that. Okay, let's see. All right. Let's see. Stonewall. It triggered you deeply when they stonewalled you. It's they killed the connection because what they thought that they would do is that they would punish you by not talking to you. It's almost like they wanted you to put up with whatever bullshit that they were giving out. And since you weren't, you held back. They were like, fine, you don't want to talk to me, I won't talk to you. They played that game. They did a tit for tat. And again, because they wanted to dominate the connection. It's like they wanted to be the one in control. And which obviously meant that you would be powerless in this situation. Now that I feel like this person is used to being with lower hanging fruit, used to being able to be in connections that they can do whatever they want, that they can come in and out of the connection, that they could, give the bare minimum, but that their needs would be met. And in doing it again, we see it again, ignored. So this person was psychologically and emotionally manipulating you, trying to make you feel as if you were insignificant, that they didn't really care that much by not giving you that much time and hoping to get a reaction. Again, and you got tired of the dry spell. Again, began to actually ruin the lack of sexual connection. Now, the irony is that when you have a past life soulmate, what there really is like a lot of sexual chemistry. There really is a profound connection. But because this person played a lot of games and really didn't give you anything, you had a lot of time to look at this connection and be like, do I really want to be in a connection with someone that ignores me, that punishes me when they don't like what I have to say, that avoids? That's definitely not emperor energy. That's at best page energy. And I wouldn't even say that it's page energy. It's very childish. It's very manipulative. It's again where this person wanted to seem as if they were superior. And, and then you got blamed for the connection because every time you hold to a standard, you don't want to be treated a certain way. They're not allowed to come in and out. They're not allowed to give you the bare minimum. This person wanted you in their life, but they wanted you in their life their way. And because you wouldn't go along with it, it's again, they tried to do everything. And because you didn't cave, you're the one that they're blaming that the connection isn't working. And that's because, like you said, that in their mind, they're like, if you really had feelings for me, you would give in. You would, where you're like, if you had connection for me, you would actually, if you really did care about me, you wouldn't ask me to sell myself short. That you create illusions of, and now I feel like the illusion was really that this person's a good catch. I feel like that's what it was. I feel like they created an illusion, and part of that was by giving you very little, by psychologically and emotionally manipulating you, but creating the facade that their life was better, and hope and having a lot of options is better. Listen, they don't have deep connections, but superficial connections, because anyone can create the facade of what they want their life to look like and breadcrumb everybody. So from when it looks like, they look like they're very desirable, they look like they're wanted, but that's somebody that's not really, getting anything. They are caring more about what it looks like on the outside. And you just had enough of the abuse of, you're not going to cave. So because you don't cave and you don't like surrender your boundaries and you don't chase after this person, that they kept abusing you by psychologically and emotionally gaslighting you, trying to make you feel like there was something wrong. And the little bit of time that they actually gave you always felt like they had one foot in, one foot out, that they were always looking for something better. Like they were never really settled in the connection. They was, like I said, like almost acting like as if they were settling, when really it's like that's because they don't know who they are. And I feel like you did end it with them, but they pretended that it wasn't ending. They were like, oh, like not taking you seriously, when, like I said, you were like, the relationship just got too hard because they neglected you. What can you do with somebody that doesn't want to make sure that your needs aren't met, that emotionally they're giving you absolutely nothing except for breadcrumb? The relationship didn't need to be such a struggle because they want to give energy to every single other person that they're not really building any real connection. It's just the facade, always keeping the relationship rocky. And it's because they're lost. They don't know who they are. They expected you to drown in your emotion, when meanwhile they're distant, they're detached, they're disassociated, when they know that they should have came back and forgave. Where it's like now what they see is the facade is crumbling and you're making them face it. And so they're not happy about that. Again, because they didn't play this right. They thought who they were. They thought they misjudged you. So we see, what are they doing? Because just because they're acted like this, it doesn't mean that they don't have feelings, because we're going to pull other cards to actually see where they are. And that's what you'll notice a lot of times, is that what they think and what they feel and what they do all contradict each other. And that's why the person's so confused, they get in their own way, where again, they're nothing but sabotaging behaviorisms. For this person doesn't really feel good about themselves, so they want to create the facade. I have many flames, I have many people that are interested in me. This way you're going to give to me, you're going to get scared. That works with people that don't value themselves. No, this person has a fear of change. And that fear of change could just be the way that they think, the way that they navigate their life, because it's the persona. If the persona is gone, who are you? Well, if there is nothing really underneath, is what you're seeing, Thank you, Ambassador. And so again, what do they do? What do they do in order to not change? Because understand, to stay the same over time becomes just as much as uncomfortable as not going into the unknown. So this person detaches, like I said, they disassociate, they don't play the game. What they do is they check out. And it's because there's fear of change, and it's because you're making them face it. So it's not like they don't have feelings and emotions. They do. They just don't want to look at them. See, it's a choice. Like they make it everything into a competition. It's like you're not in competition. You laid down boundaries. You said, this is the way that you need to be if you're going to deal with me, if you're going to be in my life. Then it's like a tit for tat, and it's everything to keep you hooked without really actually giving you anything. But it doesn't mean that they don't have feelings. What it means is that you're almost feel like you're in a relationship with someone that never graduated the 6th grade. It's like that's what it feels like. So you're going to have a lot of jealousy. You're going to have a lot of manipulation. You're going to have a lot of gaslighting. You're going to have a lot of facades and illusions that this person wants to create. And the whole time that they're doing that, who are they? They don't know. So nobody likes what they don't know. If you're like, well, I don't know, something's supposed to be there. If we've created a shadow, that means that there's part of ourselves that we've rejected, that we've detached from. So what is this person doing? Like they're not fixing themselves. What they're doing is they're running around, they're getting attention from a lot of people. It's like they can't even believe that you would even like hold them to this. It's like almost like they can't believe it. I feel like you gave this person time, energy. They got cocky, but you didn't know who they are. So now that you're actually making them face the consequences, well, you're getting resistance. They don't want to. It's like, so it becomes more about that. Again, I'm in competition with you. Oh, you're mad at me? You're going to do this to me? Well, I'm going to do that to you. Because it's all about, if I give in to you, then I put myself into a place of disempowerment, which is not true. It's that that's how they navigate, because they want dominance over you, but they don't really want to know figure out what it is that they're doing. They don't want to make it one way or the other. They create illusions. So again, the illusion is that it would look good. Now it has to look good because they like everything that you represent. They like what you look like. They like the job. They like everything. So the illusion, if you're hanging off my arm, is that we have a grand thing that looks good for them. However, what we see here is that that's all that there is as an illusion, because they're not building an emotional connection to you. They want to stay connected to you, but they also want to be able to run around and talk to a lot of other people. They also don't want to like, again, be put in a place where it's an equal connection. If it's an equal connection, for whatever reason they feel like it's disempowering them, that they need to be in control. But I feel like that they know that they played their hand a little bit too much, and from trying to strategize so much, what happens? Because you're not doing anything, this person's becoming paranoid. They're saying, well, maybe I didn't play that right. Now I don't think, but everything is stemming from the lack of security that they have about themselves. They're insecure. They don't know who they are. They're empty. That's why being in a connection with them, you feel empty, because person, what do they do during their spare time? Well, they talk to a lot of other people. That's what they do. That's not their identity. Who are they? You are not your emotions. You're not who you date. You're not your job. Who are you? This person has no clue. They have anxiety because, hey, you're not giving in. You feel right through them again. And so there's like a lot of things with this person that are very outdated. The way that they think, I feel like they're prejudiced in just your role of, if you're a woman, the role that you should play. If you're a man, the role that you should play. like they're very narrow minded. They're very, in order for this person to feel safe, in order to feel in control, they have to create the illusion. And the illusion is this dynamic where you're disempowered, you're giving them energy, they're able to do whatever they want because they don't really know what they want. The reason why they don't know what they want is because if you don't know who you are, you're always going to live more from a lusty perception, here for a good time, not a long time, and the thing is, lust doesn't last. It's not love. So the thing is, this person normally can walk away from somebody that isn't giving them. They're connected to you. They want to be in your life. But the truth of the matter is, they don't really want to do what it takes to be in your life. There's a past life connection. They have no control over this connection. So it's, again, this person has the opportunity to step it up to twin flame level. What we see right now is that they don't want to. Instead, they want to project it. It's your fault. It's your fault that the relationship isn't working out because you're holding back. You're judging me. You're doing this. Again, everything's about the reaction. It's not really about what you're doing, about what they're doing. It's, again, they don't want to look at what they do. Hey, Diane and Mose. So, anytime you use your voice, you're going to be punished. That's what it is. It's like you're not allowed to have an identity. You're not allowed to. And this person, again, creates the persona, because I do feel like they are an overachiever when it comes to work. So they're used to being with people that will be subservient because they have a lot of money, or they can make a lot of money and they're a good provider. But their relationships never work out because they wind up with people that are on like a little bit lower of a vibration, because maybe financially they can't really take care of themselves. So this person then feels like it's okay for them to act the way that they act because, hey, they're paying for everything. I'm paying for your lifestyle. I'm doing. This is not you. So that little game isn't working with you. You're like, well, you're not supporting me. You didn't support me. so that you can stand on your own 2 feet. So you're not going to be subservient to this person, because you're like, why would I be? Like, I pay for myself, I come and go, I do everything. So this person isn't used to that. There's a sense of you're strong within yourself, because I feel like you do belong to a lot of, like, you have a big support system. This person doesn't feel like they belong to anything. And the reason why is because they haven't created enough of themselves. When you go out in life and you become yourself and you join things and you feed yourself, you meet like-minded people. This person hasn't, you have, you're stronger. This person, that bothers them. So again, there's a part of this person that's lazy, that doesn't want to change. So it's, again, they're holding on to a cognitive dissonance. I want it, but I don't. I'm too lazy to actually do what it would take. It's just easier to get you to lower your vibration, is what we're seeing here. That's what it was like being in the connection. That's what they are in now. And it doesn't matter that they can have strong feelings for you. It's like this, they don't have enough faith that the relationship could actually turn into anything. And I say that it's like, again, because you both have incarnated together to clear specific patterns from your ancestral bloodline. So again, this past life connection, there is a reason why they came into your life. When Spirit says, yeah, there's blocks there that you inherited. So it's not just about being together and loving this person, because what you're going to see is a lot of triggering behaviors at this point, because they don't want to give in. So yeah, the best that you could say is, what are your ancestral things? How do they truly feel underneath? Even though we kind of see already that they have feelings, they just don't want to give in to this energy. And at this time, they're unlikely to change. So it's, again, they don't want to, and that's what I keep saying. So the best that we can do is say, why did you attract this person into your life? We could also say, will they ever? If we're someone that's like, I really like this person, but I don't. And Spirit says, it's like, this is new territory for this person to actually be with someone on their wavelength, to be someone that, so they have to look at it through the new perspective. But because if it's a new, like, it's new territory, they don't really know how to read the signs. Like, really, there's an unspoken connection that when you build a connection with somebody, that everything is not said. This person's used to being in connections where they're superior, where people like bow to what they want. Again, so that it creates the illusion that they have this grandiose lifestyle, that all these people desire them, that they're like, but that's not, to be with you, they'd have to be real. That's new territory. That's new territory. And they don't like, it's uncomfortable because they're insecure. They're not strong within themselves. So part of them has to surrender their ego and be like, well, what's more important? Is the real connection important, or are the phony baloney, like, surface connections, which, by the way, the phony baloney surface connections always lead to sabotage, always lead to drama, always lead to, because those people that they are perceiving are lower hanging fruit, and maybe they are because they're not treating themselves as well as they should be. Well, there's consequences. Those people get mad for feeling as if they're getting used. So this person doesn't really believe that there can be love, but that's why they don't believe that there can be love, because they come in offering nothing, lying, and then they pay consequences. So to actually step it up and be, with you, there's not going to be all that drama. That drama, well, this person like feeds off of it. Remember, they're empty inside. They haven't created themselves. So, that drama of, oh, look, they made that person really upset that I slept with them and I lied and I did this. So, they want to be with me. I'm so desirable. They're creating the illusion. You're not doing that. You never did that. This is new territory for this person, that they actually have feelings for someone. It's like they have to work those feelings out, and they're uncomfortable and they don't want to do it. That's what you're seeing. It's like, says like, maybe in 6 to 9 months you'll see a change, but you're not going to see anything now. And it's like, it's almost like it's uncharted territory. It's again, and this person is, it would take courage. And what we see is like they're thinking about it. It's not like they don't, but you know, by the time that they do, you're moving on because they're so inflexible. And that's really what it is. It's like it's not like they haven't thought about it, okay, but they're inflexible. They're not going to go with the flow and the connection. They don't want to. They would get you back, they would pretend to do it, but they wouldn't be able to, like, to relinquish that control. So that's someone that's spiritually blocked. That's someone that is going to project everything onto you. And you don't, and it doesn't mean that they don't have feelings, like I said, but it doesn't matter that they have feelings. It's not about the feelings. We get caught up in the feelings. This person would love nothing more for you to get caught up in the feelings. Trust me on that. When we look, because it's like they do have feelings, like I said, and that's that spiritual connection. Of course, in a past life connection, but they don't really know what love is. They know what love is with, you know, that's not real love, the love that there's expectations and ownership. That's not love. That's love on the lowest vibration of what can I utilize you for? What do you look good for? You make me feel good. It's all about me, 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 me. And this person is saying, I don't really want to change that. But they buried themselves in work to forget you. They drink, they do other things to suppress their feelings. They know how to do that. But understand, know that they can't stop thinking about you. That it's like they're going to put the facade on. They're not ready to do it. So they're doing a mind over heart decision. And it's just because it's like they know that you would never allow them to, like, the relationship wouldn't go this way there. And the problem is that this person really can't go backwards. See, once you meet someone that's like a past life karmic mate, that there's this much chemistry, that there's this much, they want that, they desire that, which spirit says, of course, because I need them to clear the karmic patterns. They're not going to voluntarily do that unless there really is love there. But what we see here is that this person's not interested. They're unlikely to do it. And if they do it, they'll do it for a little bit of time, and then they'll whine and just try to revert, going back to the same way, to what's comfortable. And it's a choice. And so Spirit says the best that you can do is then say, why did you attract this person into your life? Because you're a mirror of whom what comes into your life. And, you know, so we look at your inner child wounds, you know, and what are you supposed to be doing during this time? Because if you're giving time to this person, well, you can't be doing other things. And Spirit says, well, it's, again, you have fragmented parts of yourself. You wouldn't have attracted a person like this. That was my way or the highway. Like that's the energy there, my way or the highway. And then it's like, oh, I love you and I care about you, but I'm not going to give in. I'm just not going to do it. Like it's adamant. That has made love into like competition. And you're like, I don't want to be in a relationship with someone that makes it into a competition with me. It's like, that's not love. No, but part of their family patterns that they would need to clear is that maybe they were taught that love is transactionary. Maybe they were taught that, you know, no one's really true. When people grow up in homes where their parents betrayed them, again, then they have trust issues, and then that continually plays out where the person goes into relationships setting up these weird boundaries where it's, again, where they have to elevate themselves, where they look strong, where they're not strong, where Spirit says your inner child wounds you have to look at to see why you attracted this person into your life, because the same karmic theme continues to play out until you heal it. And what we see here is card number 1 is space, oppression, abuse. They're sticking together. Come on. Neglect, powerless. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one more makes 6. Optimism. That's positive, right? Okay. So Spirit's saying Well, you were like psychologically and emotionally abused, or it felt like it. And so that whoever was in your environment, like a parent, like oppressed you. So you might be someone that's a real like free spirit. You might be someone that's really like someone that marches to your own drum and gets into different things. And your family was like, no, you're not allowed to like to do that. You're not allowed to. Hey, relax. Hold on a second. Relax. Okay, I think you might be relaxed. Okay, so I can't even pause you because you're live. I just realized. Like, so, all right. So I feel like relax, Miami. All right. So again, so due to like being like pushed down, like not being allowed to like really express yourself, and that could be, hey, I always want to be an artist, or I always want to be an actress or a dancer, and this and that. And your family was like, no, you'll do what I tell you to do. You'll go to this school, you'll do this, you'll date this type of person. And if you don't do it, well, going to neglect you. So I feel like you always thought that better days would come, that you were always optimistic, but Spirit says if someone was always making you do what you didn't want to do, you didn't have enough time to figure out what you wanted to do. So you too would not really know who you are. So again, this person doesn't know who they are. And what they choose to do is run around and get into relationships. Spirit says, I suggest that you do not run around and try and be in relationships because you will only attract a person that's empty, that used to use this space, and you use the time and the space like it's an empty canvas to create yourself, to create the new version of yourself. And that's by investing in you, by first and foremost, by listening to the whispers of your own soul, aligning your actions with your values. That's first and foremost. And this person did not align with your actions or your values. Then Spirit says, then also live authentically and boldly. Like, don't be afraid to be yourself. Be true to yourself. It's again, live out loud so that you can be a magnet of who and what comes into your life. And you want someone that's authentic too to come into your life, right? And this will also, when you live this way, you will attract people, and not just people, but situations and experiences that are going to help you actually to become yourself, okay? So that you learn how to love yourself and actually see that you have limitless potential. That maybe, again, whoever did whatever they did put deep restrictions on you by oppressing you. And then you had to live by what someone else wanted, and you didn't really manifest anything really positive because your heart wasn't in it. And you're like, well, now I don't really know what to do because everyone's told me what to do and where to go. And, Spirit says, so you got deep wisdom, and it just saw beyond the illusion, and know that everything will happen for you in divine time, that the universe has your back, that you're in the process of ascending life, letting go of who you once were to become who you truly are, because you weren't allowed to become who you truly were. You were told who you truly were, and then you were like, this isn't really who I am. And Spirit says, no, that's why you attracted that person that doesn't know who they are. But you're like, well, mine doesn't look as fucked up. And Spirit says, unfortunately, there's only two energies, love and fear. And even we're still looking for love and still looking to fulfill that part of you. And Spirit says, where this person's doing the same thing, so the energy's still the same. So it's not that you're deserving of it, it's that this person gave nothing. It was for you to say, I choose myself. I'm not going to go fit into your mold. You want me to be who you want me to be. I want to be who I want to be right now, because I already been who other people want me to be, and it doesn't work out. And I didn't have a choice when I was a kid, but I have a choice now. And Spirit says that's how you live authentically, and you live out loud, and understand a lot of times people are not going to like that because it's going to trigger them. They're not going to be able to benefit from it. But they can't stop you. Only you stop you. And if you don't love yourself enough, you would fall prey to this past life karmic mate, because there's a lot of chemistry. But spirit says, don't get fooled. It's not elevated yet. And they do not want to elevate it. They're like, they were pretty cocky saying, well, I feel like this connection, you'll eventually like give in. And what they're seeing is you're not. And that's the best revenge, to go out and have a great life, and one without them in it, because they'll see you're the one that got away. And look, proof. What card did we get for you? Me. I allow serenity to reign in me. The love I have for myself invites harmony to settle within my being. I listen to and honor and strive to fulfill the needs of my soul. So Spirit says it's just all about you right now. It's again because you didn't create enough of yourself to pull someone to you authentically. What's the prominent energy is that oppressing energy of what you grew up with. But meanwhile, look at all the space to create whatever you want to create. You can, like, you have options. It's like, don't let this person think that you're not, just because you don't know what they are. Spirit says, go out and find them. Anything will be better than that energy. It's like that person, maybe their karma is to realize that, hey, you missed the boat. This could have been a twin flame. You could have stepped it up, but you chose not to. But again, eventually this person's going to wish that they did, because life moves on, people get older, and as long as you're in your best energy, spirit will bring you more people, situations to bring that love into your life. It's not this person, because the universe, which is God, which is spirit, doesn't care whether you pick this person or not. It only cares whether you learn the spiritual lesson, so that you could revert back to the energy of unconditional love. And that's what this connection did as far as spirit's concerned. Spirit's like, I don't want you to like sticking around for this person. It's like they'll take some time. Yeah, they realize like who you are, but they don't want to change. They're never going to change. And by the time that they would change, it's going to be too late. I'm going to leave that there. You let me know how you resonated with this one, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.